for the 98. Here comes the 99 of Eric Darnell around the outside.
Just sucked him around, Phil. We saw Eric Almirola do the same thing yesterday. And look, right here, he's got the gas wide open.
Trying to keep it off the racetrack. Now he needs to get on the brakes.
Right, he just tried to hook it around too long, and it just wound up hitting the wall. I don't know how much damage was done. It was a safer barrier. Pretty good shot to the wall, though. We saw Cat bounce.
Side of Jack Sprague. There's the 25. We just got a little bit loose. We've seen it happen. He got loose. And then when he tried to save it, drove down off the bank, came back up right in front of Boston Reed. Boston Reed had absolutely nowhere to go.
Not a place, Phil. What a great job by Craig Kinzer in the 47 truck. Did you see him just chill out and slide through that mess? Not get any damage to that truck?
Kyle Krislov doing the same thing in the number 15 just behind.
There's Almirola.
Cuts down the right front tire.
That's
Craig Kinzer.
I'm sorry.
47.
How did this happen?
There's Mike Wallace. Remember, we saw him running in the top 3 positions. There's the 15 of Kyle Krislov.
He gets out without too much damage. I just don't understand. Oh, Joey Miller, bad crash. Look at the front of that truck, Phil.
Matt Craftsman gets caught up by Brad Keselowski. You see the 75 of Eric Almirola go by already with some damage.
Take another look at this accident.
Oh, wow. Something happened to Mike Wallace, and he was slowing down.
Nothing safe, but he's going to lose so much
Rudiman
momentum.
just got punted into the wall by the
77 truck.
Brennan Gone getting pushed sideways down the tri-oval. That brings out our 4th caution.
Look at the very bottom of your screen, that yellow truck in black right in the middle. Just got a little bit sideways through there. The 04 of Scott Lagasse Jr. drove around the outside of him, but he was already sideways. You see, there's the tail end of that.
The fact that the California Speedway is paved down there, Phil, that didn't hit much.
It just got loose. This truck is obviously too loose. That's the second time Dennis Setzer had an oh-so-close call, along with the 20 of John Wood. He spun right down between those 2 trucks. It's good heads-up driving by those drivers. Just a one-truck incident.
We're going to see these lead trucks pit, Phil?
Well,
Closing in on the halfway point.
I believe they got a pit. What do you think?
They've run 25 laps since their last pit stop. And we're going to watch the 07. He got a little bit loose. He was on the outside of the 12 of Joey Miller. He got loose, chased his truck up the hill. Boston Reed, for the 2nd week in a row, came by with absolutely nowhere to go. Made some pretty significant contact with the 07. Another view, you see him, whoa, hard contact into the outside wall, the 25 of Boston Reed.
I mean, he was in the same position last week. Did nothing wrong.
Grit. We're late in the race too, Michael. He wants to get by. They make a little contact there, make some more contact. Oh, wow.
He just had that thing just was slipping every which way, Phil, and he just couldn't quite get it headed back in the right direction.
Keeping up with, though, is Mark Martin as he continues to put trucks a lap down
that truck on the wall. Scott Lagasse
in that 04 looked as though he cut a tire, had sparks coming out as he couldn't keep it off the wall.
This Miller sideways. Watch him overcorrect it, Phil. Thing hooks back on him, gets it hard into the outside wall. Here comes Mike. He sees the 04 slowing down, but he just can't avoid him.
Yeah, you could see the smoke, tire smoke from the 04. He was slowing down so fast, he'd locked the brakes up, so Mike Skinner was coming up on him such a high rate of speed he was not able to avoid him.
This is great video. Great job by our cameramen. Look at that.
Todd made some pretty hard contact right there.
He is sideways. And again, don't forget, they're going 180 miles an hour.
You know, that's probably what cut Timothy Peters' left rear tire down. The contact that Todd made with him. And here you see Timothy Peters. I think he cut down that left rear tire, and that turned Timothy Peters around. Turn 4, because that was the very next time through turn 4.
Into this race.
You can see Eric Almirola here. He's down on the inside of John Wood, and he just loses his truck. What a great run he was having, but he spins out, and watch what happens. Jack Sprague on new tires is charging, and he just got hung in the side and right into the wall he goes, and they just keep wrecking, Phil.
Yeah, there's a 08 Bobby Hamilton Jr. There's Ron Hornaday, bottom of your screen, got turned around by Rick Crawford. Here comes the 59 of Steve Park. He makes contact with the 08 of Bobby Jr. Take a look at what happened. There's Dennis Setzer, the 85 on the inside. Marcus Ambrose, the 20 on the outside. Looked like Jack maybe hit the curb, bounced up into the 08 of Butch Miller. The 04 of David Strimmy had nowhere to go. Steve Park, the Harris Trucking number 59, made a little bit of contact with a back.
Caution flags breed caution flags. Here we see Craig Kinzer getting turned around.
He was sideways when he got to the corner. I think he overdrove that corner, locked the brakes up, as you mentioned, probably got the rear wheels hopping. It turned around before he even got down to the corner. Pretty lucky that he didn't get any more damage than he did.
He tried to drive into a bit of a box there, Phil.
Cleaning. It is like a degreaser, a cleaner. Absolutely.
Tire went flat, caused him to spin. We think maybe there was probably some bumping into the side of his truck and made the tire go flat.
It's amazing that he was right in the middle of so many trucks and nobody.
Rick, this is going to take him out of that chance to be in the top 30 in points when we head to the next race. He got a little help there from Lester. Lester had driven down on the inside of him, and Boston just came over like he wasn't there. My experience tells me you better not do that.
Leaders are on pit road. Clint Boyer, David Ruderman, David Reagan.
Of the day coming out on lap 112. It's Aaron Crocker getting spun around in turn number 2.
Johnny Sauter tried to stay in the middle. Timothy Peters came on the inside, and Boyer tried to take the corner. There just wasn't any room left.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter couldn't drive to the inside because Timothy Peters was there. Unfortunately, Clint happened here. See, there you go. There's Timothy Peters, the Ford truck on the inside. He really wasn't there. He should have given, as you mentioned, an inch or two, and that's all that Craig Kinzer would have needed.
That just really makes you ill when people do that because it's uncalled for. I think that
he's going to try to duck back in again at the earliest opportunity, but now Terry Cook gets spun around in that number 10 Ford.
He was side by side with the 20 of Marcus Ambrose. You see all the trucks try to avoid him going inside and outside.
We're just 10 laps past the halfway.
That thing down and stop it.
Looks like Johnny in the 23, Johnny Benson in the 10 of Terry Cook made a little contact. Johnny went around. Then look, Kerry Earnhardt ran in the back of Terry Cook.
It is so easy to spin out here, Phil. We talked about getting these things to head in the other direction. You can see Johnny and Terry just got together a little bit. Johnny goes spinning around. We talked about how hard it is to get these things to go the other way. You got to put them in such a bind to get damage. Look at Timothy Peters dive on the inside of Craftsman. What damage was done to the right front corner?
Oh, there goes Timothy Peters.
Right in front of the whole pack. Mark Martin slips by.
Caution comes out. That's number 12. By the way, the record for cautions at Martinsville in the Truck Series, 15. Number 14.
See the 75 on the outside. He and the 22 of Bill Lester make some contact.
Bill's been down on the inside of a couple people and felt like they should have given him the turn. But Eric disagreed, and therefore we're under our latest caution.
Ford.
Racetrack. The 12 of Joey Miller is on the access road to pit road, and he slid through the grass up to the racetrack. He forced the 59 truck of Steve Park up into Timothy Peters, and Timothy made hard contact with the outside wall. Steve Park ended up spinning out. I don't think he has a great deal of damage to the 59 Harris Trucking Dodge, but a lot of damage for Timothy Peters.
Yeah, Timothy Peters took the number 4 back into the pits already.
Watch, you see the 12 truck go down the pit road there. Watch, he's going to slide. He's too fast on the access road. He slides out. He forces Steve Park, the 59 truck, to the outside to avoid him. He runs into Timothy Peters, forces him into the outside wall. Just got bunched up on the caution flag there. He got run into from behind by Kelly Sutton, but it was a chain reaction deal. It wasn't Kelly's fault. Everyone started stopping and hard contact. That's a Chevrolet this race for Robert. There's Mike Skinner. Just as Ray mentioned, he thought he had a soft tire. Bounced into the outside wall and came off the wall and made hard contact with the 20 of Marcus Ambrose. They came along with absolutely nowhere to go. Marcus made some contact with Kyle Keselowski in the 15. Just a horrible break. It looked like Mike Skinner. He knew he had a soft tire. There it is. It went down right there. And when he bounced off the wall, look at the damage to the 20 and to the 15.
Thank goodness for softer barriers, because he hit that wall hard coming out of turn 4.
Well, he sure. See Bill just drives down to the corner, runs in the back of Eric Darnell. That corner is so difficult to negotiate because we talked about it earlier. You drive in this corner, use all the brakes you have. That's why we see when the trucks run side by side, the truck on the inside doesn't run in.
Turn 1, we take a look. This is the tail end of it.
Craig Kinzer got a piece of that with the 46 Centrex Chevrolet. Tough break for Aaron. David's on the outside right there. He comes down. Looks like he's going to make some contact with the 11 of David Starr. Again, it doesn't take much, as we saw the last time, the most recent caution flag. It doesn't take a whole lot. Hey guys, just on the outside. Let's see what happens. Jack clears him going down in the corner. Let's see if Rick cuts a tire down or something. Cuts a tire down. Cuts a right front tire down. Had nothing to do with Jack Sprague passing him. Just a tough break for Rick Crawford.
The race, we talked about the wreck that took place. There's Scott Legacy Jr. You see Eric Almirola getting into the back of Dennis Setzer in that 85. That created a lot of smoke on the backstretch as they came across the start-finish line.
Along. You see him on the outside. It looks he just ducked to the outside to try to go around the 77 of Brennan Gone. Lost control of that truck, made some contact. You see the smoke.
There the tire goes.
Wow. Look at the damage to that truck.
Yeah, we actually blew a tire of it.
You see he's already around. It looks like maybe the 16 of Mike Bliss probably ran in the back of the 60 of Jack Sprague. And you see Mike Bliss make a little contact with the outside wall. That's what turned around Jack Sprague.
He ran in the back of Jack and then into the wall, Phil. That truck's damaged pretty good.
The white truck right behind him also made some contact with the outside wall. What happened? She was on the inside of another truck. The truck got loose. She lost air off the spoiler. It might have been Joey Miller in the 12 truck. She did a good job maintaining control and getting it down on the apron and keeping it straight. Here you see Johnny slowing way slow there on the outside of the racetrack. Craig Kincher came in there. He saw Johnny. Looked like he locked the brakes up, Jimmy, and slid the rear tires, and that turned him around.
Oh, he got some help right there. He got turned. Somebody tried to get up underneath him. He was already 3 wide. Looks like a black truck, number 15.
Kyle Kriseloff there. Looked like they made a little contact, but you're going to see a lot of contact here.
The 15, Kyle Kriseloff on the inside, did not prevail there.
Got a spin right behind them. The 40 truck right there. That's Ryan Moore. I'm loose. Keep watching now. We're going to see Aaron Crocker get turned right there. Looked like by the 08 of Mike Greenwell, who was
how this last caution came about.
Mike Greenwell on the inside of the racetrack. Remember, it's very, very flat down there. Lost control. Coming off turn number 4. He's on the inside right now. Looks like he slid up into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Looked like he lost the front end a little bit, Jimmy, and slid up into Mike Skinner, and it did. It just turned his nose towards the inside, and around he went. This is the earlier contact you were talking about, I think.
No, that was the actual thing.
That was the wreck right there,
well, you know, also the guy moved up on Mike. In Mike's defense, I mean...
He really did. That wasn't a situation where it was a payback. He moved up on Mike Skinner.
But he did slam into Mike earlier in 3 and 4, and Mike, he just moved over on Mike. I don't blame Mike for, hey, man, I'm holding my ground here.
We do have the best cameraman, Jim.
There it is there. The 5 truck was trying to clear the Scott's truck. Oh, by the way, I do use Scott's lawn care service.
Good.
But here's another great look from our camera crew.
These guys on these new hard tires are going to do.
You see there's Scott Legacy, the 04, already sideways. That's off of turn number 2 there. You see the self-cleaning banks. You see all the black marks go towards the inside wall. He makes some contact, as you mentioned about the water there. That's water that was collected there on the inside of the racetrack from the earlier rain we had.
That's about as easy. Ooh, he's on the inside of another truck and had to pinch it down and just lost the truck.
He's on the bottom of the racetrack, on the bottom of another truck. You see him wiggle. He got loose on the bottom of the racetrack there. Ooh, Dennis Setzer just narrowly avoided him. But we see that happen so many times when a truck's on the inside of another truck. As you can see, he's already made contact here. As he slides down the racetrack, there's going to be some evasive measures by a lot of these trucks to get by him. But when you see right there a battle, that was Jack Sprague trying to go by Kyle Kriseloff, the 15 truck. He got loose down on the bottom. Looks like he kept that truck out of the wall, but unfortunately for him, he's going to lose some positions, and unfortunately for Mike Skinner, he's going to lose a 4-second lead he had on Todd Bodine.
It's looking right there. He come across the nose of
the 50
truck. Yeah, he just kind of, that's what I was talking about. You almost like put a slide job on a guy when you're trying to get in front of him, and you just hope that he'll let you in.
Yeah, and David Reagan, they can see Almirola here. He's on the outside. He's pretty lucky to blow a tire right here and not hit the wall, Daryl.
Yeah, here he goes up the hill. You see the smoke and dust flying out under that thing. He bumps that safer barrier.
That stuff's forgiving, isn't it?
Last week, that deal with Jeff Gordon.
What happens here, Rick? He gets a sideways. Timothy Peter gets a sideways right there. And he's hanging on to it. He's hanging on to it. Then the air from the 16 goes by, and he just held it to the right too long, Daryl. He should have, at that point, when you save one that long, it's probably about time to say, I think I'll just turn her to the left here and lock her down. And he didn't do that, and he tore up his truck.
When it rolls back over on that left front spring, that's the sign. Sure, we look back here. Well, it's already happening.
Bliss right behind him in the 16 Chevrolet. Again, the 59 of Steve Park will get.
Darrell said this was inevitable. There was no way. Oh, he blows the left rear tire.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that didn't. There's the group that I thought that was all going to happen in. Looks like something happened to one of the tires on the 51 truck.
I'd say it was the left rear the way it looked.
Coming off turn number 4 right here. Looked like he just got in the throttle and spun the wheels a little bit, Kenny, and around it went.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I'll tell you why. Because it just sounded like the truck just lit up. I mean, he come off the pit road, that
in the carry. Watch the middle. He had a little contact right there. It might have been David Starr, but look at all these trucks go every which way.
Oh!
Wow.
Well, what a great job by Steve Park on the outside. I can't watch them all before wide, Kenny.
I'm going to see if they have their brakes, because this is when you need them.
Whoa! It's right there. We were on board with the 11, watching the 11 of David Starr. We saw him get a little bit loose, got kicked out into Matt Crafton.
The 7 of the 12 of Joey Miller. He's going to slot up. He makes contact, Kenny, in the center of the corner.
You know, earlier in the show, I said it's so important on short tracks. Remember what I told you Bobby Allison taught me? Know where you're at when you enter the corner. Jack Sprague, a great race car driver.
Pass by me, see Bobby East, the 21, staying on the inside. That's a battle for position. Here goes Ron Hornaday, but watch. When Aaron Crocker gets there, she's right next to the white line. Todd comes back down the racetrack, makes contact with Aaron Crocker, and around he goes. Caution flag comes out.
Okay, now here's where my 2 cents comes in.
Right now, that's the truck going across the infield.
She's going to make some real hard contact with the inside wall. Very reminiscent of Jeff Fuller's crash of a couple of weeks ago at Kentucky Speedway, where a lot of
Through turn 1, we take a look back at it. He's right up against the wall. He does brush it with the right quarter panel.
Watch Kerry Arndt combine the 13, just squeaked by as 07 comes down the racetrack.
And that's closer than it looks, even right there. I mean, Kerry Earnhardt, very, very fortunate. But heads up, you know, a lot of times when you see a wreck, the driver.
He's on the inside of the 15 of Kevin Grubb, gets a little bit loose as the 15 goes by, has to chase it up the hill, Hermie.
He's in a real bad spot there because he's below one truck and he's got Johnny Benson tucked right in behind him, taking A off the back of his truck. So he was in a bad spot there. He just lost.
He was going a little quick when he left pit road, though. We'll find out if NASCAR takes a look at that. Here's again another look at that accident.
He gets a little bit loose on the inside of that 12 truck of Joey Miller.
Same type of situation as earlier. Same effect in the corner and off the corner. He was on the inside of another truck, stepped in the gas, and the back end came around on him.
Back on the lead lap. Let's see if we can take a look right there. There's Ron Hornaday, the 33. Mike Skinner gets loose, has to chase the truck up the hill, makes a little bit of contact with Dennis Setzer. Looks like Mike Skinner almost saves it, but he lost control, overcorrected, made some contact with the outside wall, hard contact with the outside wall. A lot of guys who did a good job getting Mike Skinner as it came down off the wall across the racetrack.
I believe one of those is the 02 that Brad Keselowski is driving. We see him just behind this mess taking place. Watch Brad Keselowski go to the wall here to avoid both of these trucks and drive right through.
Well, great job by Brad Keselowski, because Mike Skinner came up to the wall. Brennan Gone did a good job getting by underneath of Mike Skinner. There was a little bit of contact right there with somebody on the inside. It looked like maybe Rick Crawford.
The fluorescent yellow truck just getting pinched off in between those two trucks.
Oh, and he tries to cut back underneath the truck, the lap truck of Robert Turner.
Watch all the smoke. Look at all the smoke.
You know what you're saying as a driver, Phil? Please don't be there. For the 99, please. Let's see what happens here.
There's the 40 on the inside of the 30 at Todd Bodine. Todd makes a move to go around the inside of Michelle Jourdain, and the 40 was already there. They made a little contact, and around he went. Tough break for Ryan Moore.
Todd got a little sideways, held onto it, but what I meant,
Look at it, Michael.
Kerry Earnhardt
Hooked the 77 of Brennan Gone, and that turned Brennan up into the 17 of David Rudiman.
Wow.
So we would expect to see the 77 probably coming to pit road as well to make sure they don't have any tires going down or damage.
Here it is right here. That's the 60 of Jack Sprague, the 75 of Eric Almirola. Jack thought he had him cleared, moved up the racetrack. They made a little contact. Going to be quite a bit of damage to the 60 truck of Jack Sprague as well as the 75.
Rick Crawford is racing for this victory.
He's got a little gap now on Ron Hornaday. If he can get up to Rick Crawford.
Whoa, problems! Oh, Robert Richardson getting spun around, hitting the truck, it looked like, of Marcus Ambrose. And now he's come to rest at the wall facing the wrong direction. Caution. The 50 of David Reagan has a little help, but gets spun around.
Two Davids collided.
And it wasn't with Goliath.
No. Out of Ryan Moore and got sideways, Phil. That's easy to do. You chop down into these corners, you catch the apron, you're going to get a little sideways, and fortunately for Joey, Ryan was there.
Yeah, and Ryan did a good job keeping that truck out of the outside wall, too. Most recent caution flag.
Watch this.
Ron Hornaday. This did not cause a caution. Ron just got loose, getting in the corner. Ted Musgrave, the 9, did a great job getting by him, but Ron actually saved that truck.
You longer, Phil. Watch how close he comes hitting the inside wall.
And you usually hit that inside wall pretty hard. He just gets by the inside wall. A lot of damage to the left side of that truck. There's another. Goat got a good shot here from pit road, just missing that inside wall. Good job, Goat.
A little bit of damage on the inside of that truck, though.
The look right here. He got hung in behind the 10 of Terry Cook, and the 85 of Dennis Setzer drove right up beside him and just ripped the valve stem right out of his left rear tire.
All over the back end of Terry Cook, and while he's doing that, Dennis Setzer went down almost on the apron to make that pass. So the caution lights coming on almost immediately.
There it goes. He went hard to the right.
It never turned. That truck wound up a lot narrower than it was before he hit that wall.
There's another view. He's right in the center of the corner there, and the truck just took off on him.
Also be no Aaron's lucky dog. Oh, Joey Miller. Look at Joey's truck. It's damaged on the right front. I can't tell what precipitated that. Could you, Phil?
They probably got into a little bit more trouble coming off for turn number 4. Let's see if we can go back a little ways. There's a 75 right there of Eric Almirola. He gets loose coming off the corner.
Oh, and Joey was just a victim.
Joey was just a victim right there, but Eric's going to make some hard contact with the inside wall.
A lot of damage to the front end of the 75, the Spears Manufacturing 75 Chevrolet.
Somebody cut someone off again, exiting turn 2.
Brennan?
Oh, no, Brennan just got high.
Got high, made some contact with Terry Cook. There's a 4 of Chase Miller making his first start. He got involved in it. Mark Martin got involved. He made some contact with the outside wall, and along came the 21 of Bobby East. Made some hard contact. That's what it sounds like when a tire at 180.
Guys that stayed out though, they needed to get this brake to get on pit road.
Replay got a little loose and got into the inside wall.
Made some contact with the inside wall. He brought his truck down pit road. They did not make any contact with the outside wall.
You see how hard he was turning to the right, but still couldn't get that truck to straighten out. These high banks are sending him down the track.
Well,
look at that as he has service done to his truck.
Robert was running by himself. He lost control coming off turn number 4. He does a great job staying out of the inside wall. You see this left rear tire is down. That's probably what caused him to spin out.
We saw how close Derek Cope come to spinning when he blew out his left rear. Robert
negotiating right between turn 3 and 4. You see him, the 21, right in the middle of your screen. His truck just takes off. Fortunately, Michael, he was on the outside. If he was on the inside, his truck's going to take off anyway, and he's going to take somebody with him. But a single truck accident.
He made it into the top 10. He's running 3 wide.
Whoa, there they go.
There they go. Mike Wallace into the wall. And Derek Cope gets almost upside down into the wall. The caution is going to come out. The checkered is going to fly. Mark Martin out in front of the field as they come out of turn number 4.
They're 5 wide right now.
But the wreck didn't happen because of that.
That was Todd Bodine who got into the 40.
Todd Bodine got into the 40 of Derek Cope, just as the 5 of Mike Skinner got into the 15 of Mike Wallace.
I think Todd Bodine was 4th.
I think Todd Bodine finished 4th in this race.
Unbelievable. Todd Bodine getting penalized, goes all the way to the back. Can it be a penalty for Todd Bodine?
Well, it's the last lap. I don't think you'll see a penalty, but certainly over-aggressive driving by both those guys on the last lap.
Skinner and Bodine.
If there's such a thing as that, is there?
But we talked about it the whole race. These guys really used their heads this entire race. We got down to the very last lap here. Watch this. This is what Dennis Setzer saw here. They're 5 wide right in front of him.
But listen, Dennis, wow, did you see Derek Cope's truck?
Wow.
That looked like something from Twister.
Flying out. They're at least 5 wide right here. Mike Skinner's going to make some contact with Mike Wallace first. Oh! Middle of your screen. He's going to drive in there. Just a chain reaction deal. The 50 truck gets turned around. Brennan with nowhere to go. Makes a little bit of contact on the inside wall, but it didn't look like the truck's as good as Jack Sprague is.
I think a left rear tire blew on the number 50.
Well, if we could run it back, the reason why they came off turn 4 3 wide.
You can see the left rear tire right there had already gone down. David Reagan kept that truck out of the wall.
It out, follow him here, see if he can spin it out, or maybe the carcass will come off and he doesn't lose a lap. He knows it's flat, but he didn't decide to come to pit road.
Right, he's hoping for a caution.
There it is, right there. Now
He'll
he'll
call that one.
That's what I thought would happen. It'd be interesting to see if NASCAR thinks he did that on purpose.
I'll tell you how good Ron is. You see, he made a lot of
it, Michael.
and he made a lot of smoke too to try to get that caution. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That from the back, he's decided, y'all. He's gonna stay out. And you notice the 25 put a lot of fluid down on the track. This is gonna take a while to clean up to make sure the track is dry. It's exactly what Ted Musgrave's crew chief wanted. Like I said, if they get that 30 laps, in which they're gonna get, they're gonna be okay.
Damon Lusk got spun around.
He did.
There we go. We got the 50 going down the corner. We're looking. Obviously, here we go. Martinsville Racing. The one decides the best way to get by him is to knock him out of the way. So obviously, that's a slick move. You get them on entry that way, they do slide up, and you don't pay the penalty as well. So obviously, the one got to do the back of it.
She's going to be on the inside of the 21, Bobby. She committed to the bottom of the racetrack. Bobby came down. Aaron did a good job staying off the curve, but unfortunately spun that truck around. I'm not sure. Just take a look. That's Cameron Dotson, the 63. Brennan Gone, the 77, drives in and makes a little bit of contact. Both trucks turn around. They both got going without losing a lap.
Hard on the brakes.
There's another view of it. Just a synchronized spin right there.
Oh, those are so painful, Phil. You know you're just going to lose a lap. Your truck won't start.
The 50 truck's going to move to the right behind the 33, and Todd's going to drive in there, make a little bit of contact.
And around he goes.
And around he went.
We're within 40 laps of the finish of this deal, Phil. You know,
On the lead lap, so he's going to lose all his track position. You see him on the outside. Looked like, was there a little contact from the 46 of Denny Hamlin, Michael?
Who ran into us?
who ran into us, Bliss says.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Got to find out where they are. He just found them.
He found that one over in that end of the race.
That's right. Oh, and now
Martin spinning as they go down on the backstretch into the wall. Mark Martin, heavy damage to that Scott's number 6.
Oh, no.
Back into the line of traffic.
We saw that turn out with disastrous results here a couple of years ago.
Sure
Phil.
did.
Everyone avoiding Mark Martin.
The inside wall, it's pretty messed up.
You wonder if maybe there was some contact that maybe precipitated that coming off turn number 2.
Skinner almost did the same thing.
Johnny Benson taking the lead, going by A.J. Allmendinger.
That's big for Johnny, too. That's 5 bonus points.
This is
Look
going
at
to be
this at speed.
scary at speed. Where do those guys go behind them? They just know to go low.
You see all the smoke back there. Those trucks right behind them couldn't see. He's already lost that right rear tire.
And he's just saying, please don't hit anything, please. Watch this, Phil.
Oh.
Ooh, makes a little bit of contact with the inside wall, but got the truck down off the racetrack. Did a good job getting the truck there. Here it is, another view of him hitting the inside wall.
And that doesn't have the softer wall on it, safer barrier.
Speed, you see him up on the high side of the racetrack.
Get a drive shaft, guys.
Uh-oh.
Look,
There's
that is the drive shaft.
That's the drive
you
shaft.
see it just flying out of the picture there.
Wow. Talk about a horrible break for Johnny Benson. Watch him. He's right in the middle of the racetrack. And
he gets turned.
He gets hooked right there by the 21 of Bobby East, and that's what puts him in the wall. And then that cuts down his right front tire.
Yeah, it looked like the 21 had position on the 59. Didn't really realize the 59 was going to come up. And
see the 59, he's moving up the racetrack. He makes contact with the 87 of Willie Allen. The 25 of Damon Lusk has nowhere to go. Michelle Jourdain in the 50 runs into the back of the 25 of Damon Lusk. Tough break for Jim Harris and his Harris Trucking Toyota.
Homestead Miami Speedway, the site of the final race of the season, and our first accident has taken place before we crown our champion.
Moving up, you know, the circle's bigger.
Whoa.
This is ugly.
Oh, look out,
This is
Skinner's
ugly.
going around.
This is ugly.
On the inside, Skinner goes around, gets into the wall on the inside. The caution comes out once again, and a lot of damage to that number 5.
Daryl, how many times do we talk about that truck on the inside? We talked about it before that caution flag.
Sliding around in turn 4.
There he is up against the wall. There's Mike Wallace, the 15 truck. He's going to make a little bit of contact right there. Here comes Chase Miller. He's going to do his best to avoid Michael. It looks like he does. He may have made contact with the outside wall. There's another view of it right here. Mikey's right up against the wall and just loses the back end.
Yep. Quite a bit of contact, actually. Back end just comes out. I'm telling you, Mike Wallace.
And as these two battle for position, oh, there goes Bill Lester. He goes sideways down the front stretch into the grass, scraping off the wall. As they go across the start-finish line, the caution will come out once again. The 4th caution of the night. Sonny Benson, we take one more look. This is Chase Miller getting turned around. As he goes down off of the racetrack, he makes his way back up on it.
Johnny came by at a pretty good rate of speed. That was the 46 of Nemechek. Johnny was actually battling for the 2nd position right there and gets taken out like this. What a horrible break for JB.